Approved.
Thank you.
Ship it. Yeah, I'm working on the code snippets. I have some unchecked in stuff that I'm working on right now. So let's see. I'm doing the making attestations, and then there's a couple ones with evidence on the next page, right? Yeah. Yeah, those are kind of in progress. I haven't touched this one. Is there any to-dos on this one? Any? No. So on the page that you checked in, non-conformance, there's no examples. So really the only two examples will likely be done today as well. Wow, that's pretty good then. Oh, you know what I do need is, well, I can do that. That's easy.
I didn't create an issue for it, but I did notice a small typo in
Okay.
the spec for 1.6.
For 1.6, the specification?
Yeah, the title for counterclaims is claims. And so we have like claims and then claims. So there's a small, just like typo.
Oh, okay. If you can do a PR for that, that would be great.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
And then I think the other thing I just wanted to verify in what I wrote was the intent of the POAM section. Is the intent of that, and whatever risk management system you're using, you would link to the BOM link of the attestation? Or what was the intent of the documentation for POAM?
Yeah, basically it could be you could be linking to like a system that has the record of that. You could be linking to a document like a PDF or whatever that you've supplied the feds, for example. It's really, again, it doesn't have to be machine readable. It could be human readable. I don't think we're kind of on the trajectory with Cyclone to be able to provide a poem. That's kind of what our mitigation strategy kind of is. So you could theoretically do that as well. I mean, the mitigation strategy does have a BOM ref. So you could specify, well, here's the poem, and then link to the mitigation strategy within the CycloneDX BOM, right? That's perfectly valid use case.
Okay.
So yeah. We should probably actually provide some examples of that too, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah. All right. Let me see if I can do something like that. That would be do we have a section for poems?
There's a section in the non-conformance.
Oh, non-conformance. It's the section that you just did, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure I captured, I guess, the organization as intended.
Yeah. Is what you've written, does that kind of align to what I just said?
Correct. So my intent, what I documented was like you'd have some external system, and that system would reference BOM links to the attestation.
Right.
And then whatever the non-conformances that you're trying to, the mitigating strategy would be documented in the attestation description or in the evidence description that you'd be linking to.
Right. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right then. Okay. Okay. Well, I am going to, is there anything else I will finish up the snippets today. They're about halfway done. I'll finish those up today, and then I will generate the PDF and publish that in the attestations channel, and that'll be like our draft version of the PDF. And if we all want to take a moment and just kind of review that, but before I do that, I'm gonna run it early because it's my new best friend. So I'll run it through Grammarly, make any kind of corrections that I need to make, and then I will create the PDF and share it. Because otherwise Mark Simons will be all over me with grammatical errors. So he's actually really good at finding that stuff. He's like the bug hunter of the English language.
Love it.
Seriously. Things that spell checks just don't find. Like the two different variants of compliment, for example. I don't know which is which. He does. Beats me. I still don't know. But he does. So anyway, I'll run it through Grammarly and post a PDF later today. So, and then we can review that. So that'll be really good shape. The C-bomb stuff, just FYI, we're actually in pretty good shape for that as well. We're about, I don't know, 95% complete with the C-bomb guide. So that looks really, really nice. I'm sure Ian, I think your employer might be very interested in seeing that as well. So there is a NIST SP that does reference CycloneDX already. There's a draft SP. What is it? I don't know if this is going to be the final number of it. 1800-38B. I'll put a link in the chat.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But it already references Cyclone and C-bomb and actually provides a really, really early example of what it looks like. But yeah, it's so that's interesting. If Cyclone's going to end up in a NIST SP, that'll be kind of cool. What would also be great is if that's our first way to do that, then we might also have an opportunity to get in there for SPs for risk management, because that's really what kind of the attestation stuff is.
Yeah. Did we have any follow-up with Ron Ross? With anybody?
No,
over
we
there?
never. I don't think we never had a follow-up call with them.
Maybe after this call, I'll ping him. And
I still have to reach out to PCI as well. So I have not had a chance to do it. I've just been buried in other things.
Yeah.
I apologize. But
Yeah, and I never heard back from
reach out to
CISA. I pinged them a couple times, but never heard
No?
anything. So,
Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay. So let's see. We might meet up one more time then, just to kind of finalize the guide then next week, and then like provide any more feedback on the specification, like the double claims titles, for example, those types of minor little things. But other than that, I think, in my opinion, we probably only have enough work for maybe one more session, and then we can possibly spin down this group. There's two more groups kind of waiting to be spun up. So thoughts?
sounds right to me. I mean, I think we'll probably get some feedback once people start using it.
Yeah.
For the course of the next year. So I don't know if dissolving the group makes sense, or if we should just take
Well, we
a
can
hike.
keep it on. Yeah, we can keep it on the calendar. Maybe we decrease the time we meet to once a month, or whatever.
Yeah. I think that'd be smart.
Okay,
I like-
let's do that.
Yeah.
You want to do that, Ian?
sounds good.
Okay, we'll do that to once a month then. That way we stay in touch and on topic. This is, that's probably a good idea, because this is something new, right? And we don't know how people are necessarily going to use it. There's no tools to support it yet. So again, we have a chicken and egg problem. So yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to kind of watch this industry kind of grow around it. Okay. I will make a note to do that. Okay. All right. Is there anything else? We should probably at some point, we've got 1/6. We're still trying to get that pushed out by the end of March. We're definitely going to be squeezed for time, but I think we can do it. With that launch, is there any kind of additional messaging that maybe like our group like publishes, whether it's on social media, whether it's on the OWASP.org site, CycloneDX site, whatever? Is there anything that additionally that we want to publish? I mean, we could reuse a lot of the attestation article that Jeff and a few others kind of worked on historically.
I
I mean,
think
there
that's
was a lot of good content in there.
Yeah, like we can just republish basically the letter that we sent to whoever CISA.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was a compelling argument for why this standard is important.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's come up with some messaging for that. Then I'll work with Kayla on how we can do that. She's already charted with doing some messaging on the CBOM stuff anyway. So we'll add this to that.
I feel like this would be an interesting project for a tool creator to work on. It's not very complicated. Like you could imagine like a website or even a client kind of tool where you just, you fill in some data, it shows you what your score is. It says, here's where you got some issues left. And like maybe it can, in future versions, it can start to import data from tools and build a real attestation. Maybe it allows you to sign it or something. I don't know. I wonder if we could recruit someone, just post a request out there. We could probably do it now. Just post a request and say, hey, we're looking for somebody who wants to get into cyber, is interested in this. We'd love to have I don't know, you could imagine it being part of dependency track, or I don't know. So I don't know.
Something standalone would probably make a little bit more sense, but yeah.
Sure.
Because learning dependency track is going to be complicated.
Yeah. Maybe it's just a standalone thing, and we say like, hey, this is you use this, you parse stuff into it, and you generate an attestation.
Right. I mean, theoretically, I mean, an MVP doesn't even need to have a back end. It could just be a JavaScript front end that then just takes your input and generates the attestation for you. The next step could be like to store it and then to see how you're doing over time and tracking your evidence. I mean, you could keep on adding on top of that, but the initial version, I don't even think you have to persist.
Yeah.
I'm thinking with Matt later on today. Matt, is it
Rutowski?
Yeah. And his bomb utility application. I mean, for standalone, just like to see what the coverage is, like that might be a good utility to kind of cover some of that functionality.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Matt is a brand new member as of today of the CycloneDX core working group, which means that from an OWASP Foundation perspective, he helps steward the CycloneDX project. So he also manages or will be managing a lot of the repos that we have as well. Like we have I don't know, 60 repos, something like that. So yeah, as of today, so he's part of the core working group. I think the website's been updated now, or at least it should have been by now. So, but yeah, awesome. So how do we go recruit people, Jeff?
I usually try to use OWASP.
LinkedIn.
I would post it on LinkedIn, and I'd say, hey, we're looking for some help. This would be a great project to learn about cybersecurity.
This might actually be a really good summer of code projects too.
Oh yeah.
Because it's standalone, right? It's it's brand new, it's standalone, there's zero learning curve.
Right.
or close to
It's not even
zero.
very complicated in theory. Like you're not building a static analysis engine. It's like
Right.
pretty
Yeah.
straightforward, like CRUD kind of application. Uh, so
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, theoretically, you could, wire up S or Spring Boot and React or front end in,
oh
I don't
yeah.
know, a week,
And I mean, you parse in the, yeah, parse in the requirements, like I feel like you could do some cool UI stuff if you were into that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like I just asked people, like I would just, you know, put messages out. Like in the day, there wasn't like LinkedIn, there was like the OWASP mailing lists and stuff, but you just ask and it's surprising what people will contribute.
Yeah, or even if they don't want to contribute, maybe they know somebody that's looking to get into something, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of that. A
Yeah.
lot of people getting into the industry, that sort of thing.
I think this
And
is a
it's
nice opportunity to take
yeah,
take a role.
yeah, and kind of unfortunately, I mean, a lot of folks just don't hire some of these entry level positions, right? But if
Yeah.
you can, as a newcomer to the industry, if you can start um showing that you're not necessarily green by showing demonstrating that you've like done this, for example, that'll look good on your CV, right?
Yeah.
So
We can tag a few people who are like, like I know Naomi Buckwalter, she puts out all the time, like entry level positions,
okay.
in AppSec. Like, here's a great way to add something to your resume, do a little
Yeah,
project.
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I look at that stuff all the time for roles I hire. you
Hmm.
know you look at, do you do open source stuff, do you do security stuff outside of your 9 to 5? Yeah, I look at that stuff a lot. um
I hired a lot of
okay.
people out of college at Aspect, and just I knew I couldn't hire the people that I needed, so I just hired them and trained them
Right.
and turned them into AppSec people.
Sometimes that's the easiest, right? I mean, the security stuff isn't, I mean, yeah, you can get into the weeds in terms of complexity. Cryptography is certainly one of those fields, but for the most part, I mean, most of the stuff can be easily taught. It's not hard.
Yeah, it was harder to turn them into consultants than to teach
Right.
them the material. Like, okay, you got to dress nice. Here's like,
T-shirt with stains is not.
honestly, like we had guys come in with like shoes untied and, just sloppy. And like, honestly, they went on to become CISOs at major organizations. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Hey, one other thing I wanted to mention was, I'm talking to these guys in Australia. They work for a company called Threat something, but they asked for a presentation to 50 plus folks uh, on CycloneDX attestations. They're
Okay.
really interested in it, and they said it's they said automated governance is a big target item for us to address this year. They already use Cyclone. They're doing a software factory initiative, and they really want to understand CDXA better. So I said we would cover it, and I'm happy to do it. But if you want to either do it or do it together, uh, either of you all, um, it'd be wide open. I think it's March 15th or March 22nd, so like a month and a half maybe.
Could we lean
Okay.
on Patrick just because of the time zone?
We could. He
It,
could certainly show up. I mean, if Jeff volunteered to do it, that's great. I mean, we can be there for support if they have additional questions or stuff like that. And with Patrick or my name attending, if depending on how far in the weeds they are with Cyclone, they might actually name associate. So I don't know if that would help.
it would probably be at like 8 in the evening our
Mhm.
time or
Sure.
my time in DC. I don't know what
Right.
time that is,
Yeah.
but it
So
might,
it's like, I don't know, it's like noon, 1 o'clock for them, something like that
yeah.
the next day. Yeah. Okay.
All right, well, I'll keep you posted.
Okay. Yeah,
I
no,
thought
that
it'd be
sounds
cool to-
great.
Thought it'd be cool to get them on board, and maybe I'll ask them to post about it.
That's great. It was it the Australian government, do you know? Or because I know parts of the Australian government have already standardized on Cyclone. In fact, they've got some job hirings for what's their equivalent of NSA? Signals Directorate, something or other.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
The-
they actually had some job hirings for Cyclone experience.
These guys work at Threat Canary, which I don't, and it's some kind of government contractor. I don't understand how big they are, but they've got at least 50 people who are interested in Cyclone.
Okay,
It looks like they do all kinds of AppSec, like a traditional AppSec consulting shop.
nice. Okay. Well, that's right up our alley, Jeff, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just looking up how big they are. Hmm.
Yeah, so like 7 p.m. for me is well, depending on where they're at in Australia. I know like Pat's in Brisbane, so like 7 p.m. for me, 8 p.m. for you, Jeff, is like 11 o'clock in the morning the next day for like Patrick. But Brisbane doesn't do daylight savings time or anything. Um, and I think they're like an hour off from like Sydney and Melbourne and stuff. I think.
I don't know. They're not listed in Threat Canary in Crunchbase.
Hmm. Maybe that's a US thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I'd be, feel free to present, Jeff. I mean, I don't, I can be there for support only.
Okay.
So
I,
yeah.
I think that'll be good. I guess I got to work on a little deck. It's probably good to have a deck about this project.
Yeah.
Either
Yeah,
of
we've
you.
got some templates. Yeah, we got some templates that we use for Cyclone. They're kind of variants of the OWASP template that we use. They're nothing fancy. So I mean, but all the templates we put in or all the PowerPoints that we do publicly, we post those on Google Drive. So we have an entire directory that's publicly available of all the presentations that we've done. So we can then share that with them if afterwards. But yeah, I can send you the template that we use for that, or kind
Oh,
of
that'd
a
be
few
great.
examples, and then you can just take it and kind of run with it if you want.
Perfect.
Yeah. At some point we should probably get away from using the OWASP template. It's not very good in my opinion, but
Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is. They put a lot of effort into their AppSec ones. Their AppSec conference templates look a little bit, at least a little bit better than their standard ones, but
Yeah.
that's saying a lot. But anyway, okay, cool. Anything else, gentlemen?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Well, we can call it early. Give you 23 minutes back of your time. So have a great rest of your day. I will ping you all when the PDF is available. And thank you so much. And thanks for the PR, Ian. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
job.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Yay. All right. Cheers.